Hey everybody, it's Pamela and I am back with a treat for you today. I am going to show you one of my favorite breakfasts. It's pretty quick and easy to put together. It's inspired by Dr. Greger's Daily Doesn't app, so let's get started. Okay, this is going to be a green smoothie recipe, and as I said before, it's inspired by Dr. Greger's Daily Doesn't app. You can check out the review I did of that app a few episodes ago. I'll link to it in the description. I put this together, it's like my own concoction, just based upon his app and what he recommends that you should have every day in your diet to maintain optimal health. So I'm going to start with a cup of almond milk, and I use Califia Farms. I don't always use this, but I do actually like this brand the best. They don't sponsor me or anything like that, but I do like it. I think it's rich and it has a good flavor. So I'm just going to start with a cup of almond milk. And I'm keeping some water on hand here too, because I'm probably going to add some water as we go. And next I'm going to add a little bit over a quarter of a teaspoon of turmeric. This is simply organic turmeric. And about this time you might be like freaking out, like how's that going to taste? Ew, gross. Turmeric does have a very strong flavor and it's usually used in cooking like entree dishes. But I'm going to put it in here partly because it will help me fulfill my daily requirement of turmeric, but also, as you're going to see, everything else I'm going to put in this smoothie is going to mask the flavor. We're going to have some fruit in here, we're going to have a little bit of vegetables in here, so it's definitely going to cover up the taste of the turmeric. You won't even know it's in here. So just going to measure about a quarter of a teaspoon. I leave it heaping because I like to add a little bit of extra, and that's good for that. Now, if you've watched any of Dr. Greger's videos or any other videos about how to maximize your absorption of turmeric, you'll know, or if you don't, you're about to find out, that black pepper increases the absorption by about 2,000% in your system. So you definitely want to add some black pepper. You don't need a lot. Again, what I'm going to add to the smoothie after this is going to totally mask this flavor, so don't worry about it tasting weird. I'm just going to add a couple twists, just like that, just to get a little bit of ground pepper in there. Next, I'm going to add just a few sprinkles of cinnamon just to add some good flavor. You don't have to do this step, it's my preference, but you know, I tend to like to add everything to the kitchen sink when I'm doing these things. So it's up to you what else you want to add. I would say at least the turmeric and pepper are the baseline, and then whatever other spices or flavorings you want to add, totally up to you. Now I'm going to stir it up before I go any further because this is an old blender, and I'm going to tell you all about this blender in a second because it's really cool. But since it is an older blender, it tends to kind of jump, like when you turn it on, the ingredients tend to jump a little bit and they splash up the sides. I will have it covered so it's not going to come out, but I like to have everything blended in here as far as the spices go, so just the powder doesn't get all over the sides of the blender. See, these are the precautions that you have to take. Okay, just stir it up a little bit, and that's fine. Okay, so what else do I have? I am going to be adding, this is about 3/4 of a cup of wild organic blueberries, and I usually will also add some frozen cranberries to make it a cup total of berries, but I'm out of cranberries today, so I'm only going to go with the blueberries, but I'm also going to be adding some banana. I've got a couple of dates here that I pitted to add some sweetness. So I'm going to go ahead and add these. If I can get them in here without spilling everything. There we go. Splashing. Now these are wild organic blueberries from Whole Foods. I always get organic berries. I don't always buy organic with every fruit that I eat because some fruits, like bananas, they have a thick skin. So when you're buying these, if they are sprayed with pesticides, the pesticides can't really penetrate the skin like they can with a thin-skinned fruit like berries. So I'm okay getting non-organic bananas. I do buy them, you know, if I can, but I'm not like a stickler about it with stuff like this. So I put the blueberries in, I put a couple of dates in that I have already pitted, and I'm gonna put about half a banana in. And the banana and the dates are going to make this really sweet, and the blueberries are sweet too, but the banana and the dates will really give it a nice flavor and cover up the turmeric and other things that you don't necessarily want to be tasting when you're having breakfast. Okay, a couple more things that I'm gonna add, then we're gonna start to blend. I've got a little over half a cup of frozen spinach. I usually use frozen for this because it's handy and it has a little bit milder flavor, at least in my opinion, than fresh spinach does. So most of what you're going to taste in here is going to be the fruit. And I don't want to get it all over the counter, but that may happen regardless. The last thing I'm going to add, but I'm not going to add it just yet, is about 1.5 tablespoons of ground flax seeds. So everything you've seen me add here is all recommended in the Daily Doesn't app to get every day. Flax seeds are going to provide omega-3s. They're going to be really good for cognition and just to get your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio the way it should be. The greens will also provide some omega-3s and, you know, other things like iron and vitamin C and all that stuff. And of course, you know berries are really good for you. And I think this is just a really healthy drink. So I'm going to start blending, and then I'm going to add the flax seeds. So again, they don't just fly all over the place in the blender. But one thing I wanted to talk to you about this blender, actually I just found this out myself. So this blender used to belong to my grandmother, and I thought that it was from the 1960s, but my friend Neil here, who is helping me tape today, he's right over here. Say hi, Neil.
Hi.
We actually looked up the model number of this blender, and it turns out this blender is from the 1940s. It is, what, 70 years old? That's crazy. That blew my mind when we found that out, because I already knew it was old, and I already knew that it's like, this thing will last forever. But I didn't actually realize how old it is. So this blender is from the 1940s. I am so proud of this blender. So anyway, I'm going to turn it on. It is a bit louder than modern day blenders, so it's going to get loud in here for a second. I'm going to turn it on high and start blending. It's also a little choppier. I'm going to add the flax seeds now. So I'm going to do about 1 minute. All right, we are ready to taste test. Let me grab, it smells like blueberries and banana. Okay, let me grab a glass and I'll be right back. All right, so it's going to be a little bit thick, but that's the way you want your green smoothies. You want them to be thick and shake-like. Salut! Oh my God, that is so good. The dates really kind of make this, I think, excuse me, because there are stronger flavors in here. The dates just give it a sweetness and a smoothness, and the banana. And of course you can taste the berries too. I really can't taste the turmeric. I can taste a little bit of the pepper, but very, very slightly. The spinach I can't really taste much at all. It's just a very mild flavor. So this is going to be a really healthy breakfast. I have this probably 3 days a week, I would say, maybe even 4 for breakfast. And I really love it. It's delicious, it's healthy. So actually, speaking of the healthy aspect, let me just run down what in the Daily Doesn't app this actually covers for you. Okay, so I've got the Daily Doesn't app open. Again, I'm going to link to that video on my channel so you can actually see what's in the Daily Doesn't app. But this fulfills your daily serving requirements of berries, 1 of your servings of other fruit. It fulfills 1 of your servings of greens, not cruciferous vegetables, but greens. It fulfills your daily serving of flax seeds and spices, and it fulfills a couple of servings of beverages. So right there you've got like a whole laundry list of stuff that you are getting in your breakfast. I mean, this is just such a powerhouse breakfast. You're getting all these good things that you need every day, and you're getting it first thing in the morning. One thing I didn't put in here, which I do sometimes, but not all the time, if I was gonna really go for it and wanted to pack even more into this green smoothie, I would have put about 1/4 cup of nuts. I have pecans right now that I could have put in there. I didn't because I already had the banana and some other things that I knew was going to make it really thick, so I didn't bother with the nuts today, but you can add nuts. It's not going to change the flavor, it's just going to add more nutrition for you. But yeah, that is it. That is my green, actually it's more like a purple smoothie recipe. I love this, it's delicious, it's nutritious, and I hope you try it out. If you do try this recipe, comment below and let me know if you tried it out, if you like it, if you make changes to it, if you're going to start incorporating this into your diet every day. And yeah, just let me know what you think. And I will talk to you next time. Have a very healthy